Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Sprout Solutions and Aperon. Check out our partners in the description. Startup Podcast PH is with Taraki Card, the Cordillera Startup Consortium here in Baguio City. And we're interviewing partner startups of Taraki. We have IOL Inc., Agile Software Development Company in Baguio City, and its founder and CEO, Kevin Philip Gayaw. Hello, kamusta?
Hello. Good evening.
Ayun.
I hope you've been enjoying Baguio.
I'm very much enjoying Baguio and actually naglibot na ako sa Cordillera. 2 weeks na ako here in Cordillera.
wow.
Nagpunta na akong Sagada, Bontoc, Banawe. I actually went here to interview yung mga founders here to know about the innovation culture here. And of course, yung parang heritage din. So kaya naglibot ako sa Cordillera to know more about the mountain culture. And actually, very unique din kasi I wanted to learn about
that was supposed to be my second question. How is it different? How is it different from...
Okay, good question. Para ako yung interview dito.
But I mean, genuine interest din.
Yeah, I mean, for me, ever since dati, I've been to Baguio na many times actually. I'm from Manila lang, so medyo bakasyonan to ng mga taga Manila. Pero parang ever since, and reading in the history books, parang medyo may certain kakaibang mindset nga na merong certain mountain pride somehow ang mga Baguio. And it leads the people here to actually become leaders in the things that we do. I mean, historically, we know na si Cordillera ay parang medyo hindi na conquer somehow ng Spanish and ng American. So, medyo unique ang naging culture ng Cordillera. And I think even now, in the modern state of the country, parang merong certain mindset ang mga taga dito. And I think it's very unique. And actually, with the founders that I interviewed, medyo nakaka-capture ko, I think, yung uniqueness na yun. Ayun.
There's that certain pride.
Actually.
Generational pride.
And that pride, that pride leads to parang confidence din of actually, hindi ka magpapadala sa kung anong influence ng ibang bansa or ng ibang tao. You solve your own problems, you do your own solutions, and you build your own region. So, ayun.
Interesting insights.
But ayun, anyway, so, pag-usapan natin si IOL Inc. So, ano nga ba, sir, ang IOL Inc.?
So, IOL Inc. is it's a 5-year-old. So, technically, I think we're still within the definition of a startup because we're very much tech-driven. But, yun nga, 5 years of trying to survive. So, we started as an education technology startup. Dati, kaya kami IOL, kilala kami as Institute of Learning. So this is a project that I entered into Ideaspace.
Which year? What?
2019. 2019. Cohort 7
kaya
kami.
pala you're familiar. Yeah. Actually, Ideaspace is a partner ng Startup Podcast page. And ever since, nag-start kasi ang podcast 2021. So yung mga startups ni Ideaspace ay actually ni-interview namin. Pero if 2019, although nakita ko na siya, pero hindi naabutan nung nag-start yung podcast. But anyway.
So, hindi pa kami IOL Inc. So, parang part kami ng isang another company that I also started. So, parang project siya. So, learning management system siya for accounting and finance. And we call this project as Institute of Learning. So, nung nasa Ideaspace kami, palagi yung tinatawag na IOL. Dahil nga ang haba, Institute of Learning. So, IOL. So, when we applied for SEC, dahil nga pinush kami, dapat magsarili na kayo. This can have its own business model. So, ayun, we incorporated in 2019. In fact, we celebrated our 5th year anniversary just recently, October 21. So 5-year-old na kami, but there's so many things that happened. So we started as an edtech startup. That's our identity before. Pero nawala yung identity namin because we had to survive. 2019, then 2020. So late 2019, may edtech pa kami. Then early 2020, we know what happened. COVID.
Pandemic,
So we had to survive. And we were lucky at that time. We had funding pa. We were able to get an angel investor who gave us money. But at that time, we had to maximize the funds that we have. So at that time, biglang nagsilabasan yung mga edtech. Everyone became
Actually,
edtech.
true. Lalo na kasi ng pandemic, nauso ang online class. So, yung mga edtech company
Yes.
ay nag-focus sa ganun. Yeah.
Actually, even non-edtech
Actually,
nag-focus na
yeah.
sa edtech. So, we had to, parang biglang, so from blue ocean, biglang naging red ocean. So, naging very competitive, highly competitive na yung environment namin. So, ayun, we had to survive. We had to look for other means to generate revenue and monetize. So, ayun, to cut the story short, parang over the years, we've seen na um, gumagaling yung mga devs namin. So, my core dev teams were interns before. Ano ngayon, they're now highly capable naman developers, and they've stayed over the past since this, even our recent hires, even our early hires, lahat yan, they're still with the company. Most of them, yeah. So,
and all based in Baguio City.
yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. So it's a unique, you have a pool kasi, I mean, and relative to Metro Manila, it's cheaper to here in Baguio. Not only in terms of salaries, but also
Food.
in
Mura ang pagkain dito
food,
actually.
cost of
Transportation.
general cost of living,
Yeah.
transportation. So, ayun, it's a good pool of talent. But yun nga, you just have to mine. So we had a lot of interns over the past few years, and yun nga, we were able to find naman this parang cream of the crop quality talent.
Okay.
So from there, they nag-improve because kung ano yung projects na kinukuha namin. So parang nag-level up ng gusto yung kanilang capabilities. Tapos recently, plus AI. So mas madami pa silang pwedeng gawin. So we decided more recently, so we're more of a software company now, di ba? And we have the reason also why we took that route is because we have foreign clients na pumapasok doing these things na puro AI focus. That's I think our differentiator naman ngayon. We're more of an AI integrator. So you have a software that doesn't have AI, we can put AI into your software. Parang ganon. So, yeah.
Oh, that's super interesting. First of all, yung story, na nag-start ng EdTech and you already have the talent, the pool of talent. So kaya, and then you need money. I mean, we have to accept that the startup life, that we have to earn, we have to get revenue.
You have to hustle.
So you, kumbaga, hinanap niyo yung demand, yung demand for software development.
Correct.
And can I ask, so what exactly yung parang pag-pivot niyo? So, anong klase ng software development or what usually yung mga type of software that you make? I mean, you said that you parang infuse AI na rin, pero parang what field, what industry?
Yes. So, in our second, third years, puro related yan sa mga website, mga booking systems, mga ganon. So, because nga, everyone's going online. So, yan, mga website development, learning management systems, mga booking systems. Tapos more recently, we still have websites pero mas mabilis. So, ibang platform na. Dati para puro WordPress, mga ganun. Pero ngayon, we do it from scratch na.
HTML? I mean, how do you do it from scratch? JavaScript?
So, React Native, yung front-end namin. Ay, for mobile. Tapos we have React for web. Then we also have our backend teams, so na very flexible. But we learned NoSQL, SQL. So ngayon yung mga projects namin. So one of our use cases would be a law firm in Australia. So basically, min-automate namin halos lahat ng kanilang processes. Na ang daming, sorry to say, but ang daming virtual assistants ang nawalan ng trabaho. And because AI can do it already. So we integrated various in automating their processes, we've integrated AI. So
how exactly can if I may ask?
Yeah, so for example, you have the concept of paralegals for law firms, di ba? So they do the grunt work, the research, etc. So kaya nang gawin ng AI yun. Pero specialized AI yung ginagamit namin. Tapos we use specific APIs to get information. And at the end of the day, parang yung legal paper, yung legal document na kailangan ng lawyer, pipirma na lang siya. So, lahat yan na-research ko
Actually,
na.
yung pag-draft ng document or even ng contract, tama ba?
Yeah. So, and yun nga, specialized din kasi itong law firm na to. So, we connect to, parang, yun ang kagandahan sa Australia. They have databases, so, magko-connect ka lang, so you could get the, through API, and you could get already the data that you needed to create the document. So, yung analysis, etc., ayun, reasoning, gagawin na ni AI. And, it was a lot of back and forth, but eventually it got to a point na gusto na nilang ilagay na lang yung pirma nila. Automatic na gano'n na. So, but before we reach that point, ang daming questions, or refine the prompt, refine this one, give it more data, wrong yung kinukuha niyang data. So there's a lot of, yun, ganun. But yeah, the team has been used to, yun nga, developing those types of projects. We also have an e-commerce now, that we're also integrating AI. So it's like an online pharmacy with a lot of functionalities.
With intelligence.
Yes.
I'm curious on two things. First of all, you mentioned kanina that this is an agile software development. So that's the first question. What do you mean by agile? And second, kasi we're a medyo general na software development. So how is the experience like, for example, law? I mean, maybe wala pa naman kayong much knowledge about legal, about law, no? So
especially
how do you
Australian law.
Australian law then? So how do you adapt to that given na parang ang main knowledge nyo, main skill nyo is on software development. So yeah.
So for your first question, agile, talaga mabilis. Back then, we do like, for example, projects in parang several months to a year. So for example, yung legal client na yan, probably it will take us 2-3 years. But because of AI, parang agile AI. AI agile.
Okay. Big A, small G, big I, small LE. Okay.
So parang AI
agile.
But I think we became more agile because of AI. So agile basically means faster development process, more faster response time, feedback loop, ganun. Tapos talagang mabilis yung bug fixes. Na I mean, within the day, dapat gusto nila meron na yung maayos. So we were also forced na, but how can we do this? I think we don't have a perfect formula yet, but we're getting there.
So interesting. So somehow unique din yung parang no? Yung parang yung project management nyo, no? And yung form of responding to the client,
Yeah. And I think that also somehow answers the second question. We need to have really good project managers. And they're not necessarily outsourced, or they're not additional employees. They're basically assigned among our dev team. But what's very key, and what we've seen in our parang internal studies, is that communication is very critical internally and with the client. So our devs directly talk to our clients before, di ba kailangan mo ng systems,
business analyst pa nga minsan business analyst. Yeah.
So meron ka dapat systems analyst to talk
with the client, and then si system analyst siya yung maggagawa ng mga flowchart that i-communicate dun sa mga dev.
Yeah. But because of AI, so a lot of the, like for example, bug fixes, documentation can be done by AI. So our devs now are taking on the role of a systems analyst na din.
Galing.
So they can now directly deal with the client.
Interesting.
So yeah, thanks to AI, di ba? You're just paying how many dollars per month. Tapos you get all this benefit. So I always tell people, because we're already 14 employees. So
So right now the team is 14 devs?
Mix yan. So half dev, half business services.
Okay.
So business services are yan, yung mga lawyers, accountants, etc. So we have parang engineering team, and we have the business services team. So parang ngayon our 15th member palagi is the AI. So we have preferred AI tools din.
Yeah, but ito yung sabi ko, of the Cordilleran pride and kasi actually when I read books dati, when I was in grade school, sikat ang Cordillera, sikat ang Rice Terraces na nabuo dahil sa two principles, creativity and resourcefulness. And I think yung two things na yun, creativity and resourcefulness, to make such good engineering structures, yun din yung in-apply nyo sa inyo. Kaya nakagawa kayo ng ganung smart na agile system na kumbaga resourceful eh. I mean, it's a lean team, lean team of like 14, pero with AI, with new technology, with this innovation, na-adapt nyo siya kagad and na-use nyo siya effectively with dealing with clients. So parang yun din yung perspective or yun din yung aspect nyo as a startup. Yun din yung binibuild yung parang unique value proposition. What do you think of that?
So parang last year, we had less than 10 projects. This, our last reporting was 20 projects na. Ongoing and tapos na. As of October pa lang. So, ayan, and we're still looking for projects for year end until next year. So parang sa atin, you have to really be you have to keep your ears always open, to what's happening outside of the country. I think the reason why we suddenly pivoted into AI, even though parang at first hesitant yung mga devs, dahil parang wala kami ng trabaho eh. Diba? So parang ginagawa na ng AI eh. But I think what they realize as well is that mas madali na yung buhay nila. And they can do more stuff. Not only in the company, but also outside. Because they don't, wala yung mental burden na after work, inisip mo pa rin yung project.
That's true.
So you could enjoy your life. Work-life balance ka na. No? So even for me, dati I keep on thinking, paano pa kaya? But you could offload some of the work, mental load to AI.
To the AI, to the computer.
Yes. Yeah, so, ayun, the team was hesitant at first, pero yeah, I had to push it because I was thankful. There was a sponsor who brought me to Europe, to Finland, to attend the largest startup event in the world, C/. Slash. So I was fortunate enough to get some form of funding, but I still have to pay parang more than half. But still, at least yung airfare at saka account was paid for. And what I saw last year, November to December of 2023, really parang pushed me to really adapt AI. Fully adapt AI. Even though medyo hesitant ang buong team. Because at that time, we only had 3, ChatGPT 3. So hindi pa doctorate level. Ngayon, PhD level na si 3.5. Ay, si 4.0, di ba? So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's really interesting. It's very unique kasi uso ngayon ang mga startups, AI startups, but they infuse AI dun sa actual product. Here, ang medyo kakaiba dito, the team actually uses AI, the process itself, the internal process itself, uses AI. Kaya, mas na-enhance yung pag-deliver ng software development.
Yeah. So, parang, even if the product itself doesn't have AI, but from documentation, bug fixes, even yung feature development, roadmap, etc. All of which can be outsourced to AI.
Yes.
You just have, when your experience as a developer, you just integrate it there and what the client wants.
Super interesting. On the aspect pala of finding clients, so right now ba puro international ang inyong clients? And as the CEO, kamusta ang paghahanap ng clients?
Mahirap pa din. It's still a challenging...
Kasi these are big projects din no?
Parang, some of them are... most of our projects are small. But there are... Parang yung Pareto principle. 80% of our revenue comes from just 20% of our clients. Diba? So, most of those clients... Honestly, there's local clients then. There are local clients and there's also international clients. But big chunk of our revenue comes from international clients. So, what we've learned, looking for clients or for projects, parang if we actively look for projects, we don't get them. We spend on advertising, marketing, etc., joining these types of events, mga exhibits, blah, blah, blah. But what we've noticed is that yung mga nag-search lang online ng software development company, o kaya yung na-meet namin one time, na hindi kami actively hindi ko siya na kinukuha as client. Sila yung lalapit sa akin. Parang, through conversation. So, parang what we've learned is to just expand our network. So, that's why I'm doing this podcast. Malay mo, may mga potential clients. So, I think, going to events, learning events that not necessarily to look for a client, but baka may matisod ka, diba? So, sometimes, yun nga, may active marketing efforts ka pa din, but that only prepares you for the passive ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think kasi ang software development is more of the parang yung relationship and yung parang kumbaga to be vouched. Kasi ang marketing, usually those are for B2C, for like the consumers. Parang, I mean,
correct.
Sila yung mas makagras. Pero ito kasi, parang, when you build your reputation then to other people and yung relationship, kumbaga, and they're looking for someone to do their project, they will look for someone who they can trust. So maybe yung nakita na nga nila sa conference or nakausap na or maybe nakita na yung portfolio ninyo, diba, of other projects.
Yeah, that makes sense. So parang, yun, for me, yes, we still have some budget for active marketing efforts, pero we also realize na we try to go to seminars, attend mga activities, podcasts, just be visible basically.
Just be visible, just be there, just be out there. Ang i-title natin dito is of course may software development para sa search. Actually I've already helped some startups dito sa podcast because of our titles and our hashtags. Actually, ang lakas ng YouTube sa Google search.
Right, so,
I also do an effort na yung title dun sa YouTube and sa Spotify ay parang yung search ng mga possible clients. And sana nga, matulungan namin ang IOL.
Sana nga, I'm looking forward. But yeah, even if we don't get it, but at least we're visible. We're there. So that's parang marching orders of our team, our marketing team.
Is payroll processing taking too much of your time? Introducing Sprout Payroll Starter. For as low as 5,000 pesos per month, you get a team of experts to help you with your payroll and HR needs. We'll help compute and process payroll, handle all your government compliance requirements, and automate timekeeping. Leave the payroll to us so you can focus on growing your business. Enjoy peace of mind with Sprout Payroll Starter.
So, punta naman natin ng story behind So, can we know more of your background? Do you have a software development background? And are you born and raised here in Baguio City?
Yeah. So, yes, I'm born, actually more of La Trinidad ako. I'm a resident of La Trinidad, voter of La Trinidad. But I was educated in Baguio.
Oh, which school?
I graduated from St. Louis University
SLU.
With a degree in accountancy. So I'm actually a CPA.
Interesting.
So there was this conversation recently with my girlfriend. So we were talking about lowest grades in college. My lowest grade actually in college was IT. IT. It's my lowest.
And now you're doing that.
So I was parang, now I'm currently doing that. I mean, I founded a software development company. So I've been born and raised here. The reason why I based the startup here in Baguio is because I believe there's an opportunity in the provinces. Because I also work in Manila. I also did a stint in Dubai for a short period.
For accountancy or for
more of management accounting, management consultancy. So parang I've seen yung mga nakikita ko sa mga peers ko na CPAs, accountants. I mean, they have good careers naman, but that's not a career that I would want to start. And I have to really move out of Baguio. My family is here, my support group is here. My good friends are here.
And the climate here is good.
And the climate is here. I mean, is a lot better here, compared to Metro Manila. So I decided, why not Baguio? Diba? Why can't I start something here in Baguio?
Yeah, true.
So, there were a lot of, so I started, we started a newspaper company. I started a sales and marketing company. I also started a cooperative. I also started so I've started a lot of things. I doubled on a lot of things. So But I found na parang si IOL, yung pinakamalapit sa puso ko because you're able to create things or create solutions to a lot of people's problems through software. So, yun yung parang naisip kong i-pursue. Yeah.
When you were college nga, I mean, mababa ang iyong grade sa IT. Pero, did you already think that you will become like an entrepreneur?
No, it was a difficult process, I think. And what probably pushed me forward to take that leap, that infamous leap.
The startup leap.
Yeah, in 2012 around 2012 or 2013, I can't remember. But there's a seminar I attended in Manila. I was invited by a friend. Attend ka nito, I'll give you free tickets. The title of the event was Failing Forward.
Okay.
So parang at the time I was thinking, I just got back from Dubai. I was thinking about what to do next. So I was thinking of starting a business. So, but I was really fearful. We as an accountant, I was trained to be very risk averse. As an accounting student, accounting professional. So parang dami-daming risk na lumabas. If you start a business. But at the end of the day, yun nga, at the Failing Forward seminar or workshop, ayun nga, they celebrated failures. So, despite the risk, they took the step forward and they became successful. I mean, and even if they started the business and they still had a lot of failures, parang, yeah. Sa totoo lang, in the past few years, 5 years na si IOL, parang ngayon lang 5th year ko na-experience na medyo, okay, medyo nakakaluwag. Na parang hindi na, like for example, during this time, I'm losing sleep because I'm thinking about payroll. Diba? 15:30. So I usually lose sleep during those times, Pero parang ngayon, not as often. Parang, okay. So,
may good revenue source na rin.
Yeah. At saka medyo tuloy-tuloy na rin. But, yeah. I am.
Yeah, but I mean, 5 years is, I mean, I think it's fair enough. And nakaka-inspire to kasi totoo naman na maraming startup founders ang sumusuko on kasi I mean, it's true na risky at mahirap.
Yes. Especially startup.
Yeah. Pero I mean, maganda to na parang 5th year, you're good. You're consistently good. So I think this is a good story for other people to hear then.
Yeah, so parang, gosh, ilang beses ako talagang at that point na, can I still pay payroll? What if I just stop it? What if I just go back to the corporate world? Diba? Siguro naman may kukuha pa rin sa akin. So, a lot of thoughts. Pero, kaya sige, let's just do it. Hanapan na lang natin ng paraan.
Wow, that's
so, gumagaling ka rin maghanap ng paraan.
Actually, true. True. Sabi nga nila, a start only fails when the founder gives up. Super halaga din ng courage ng startup founder. And courage, creativity, resourcefulness, and in terms of Cordilleran language, natutunan ko lang yung Taraki, parang pagiging gitty. I mean, they say it's parang gwapo or maganda, pero parang giting din siya, parang parang the general na
parang resourceful.
Yeah.
Ginagawan ng paraan. Taraki.
Ano pala, so you transition to being an entrepreneur. Kamusta yung paghahanap ng very first client?
Okay. So as an edtech, parang it was very...
Your first client was an edtech. But and when you pivoted, na to software development, we
changed our model in response to a client.
Okay.
So meron naghahanap.
So you were an edtech and then may nakilala kayo, may lumapit sa inyo na nagpapagawa ng software.
Yeah.
So kaya you changed the model.
Gumagawa ba kayo ng website?
Okay.
Magkano? Sige, ito, gagawa kami.
Okay.
So we had to build the plane while falling, di ba? So we had to find a way to, nandiyan na sigurado na to pero meron pa rin yung takot pa rin na parang, mani-deliver ba namin? And I think that's something that I'm proud of. Over the past few years, we kept on delivering. We kept our promise There might be sometimes a delay, but we kept our promise. We delivered on what we promised.
Yeah, these are actually good insights. I have another question kasi now yung team is 14 na, no, and around half yung devs. Minsan kasi mga ibang startups, they're also afraid of expanding the team kasi dagdag sweldo yan.
Yes.
So, kamusta yung pagpapalaki ng team?
Yeah, always yun pala yung iniisip. Before we add a team member, I look at the rationale. Kaya ko bang bayaran? Kaya bang i-sustain ng operations yan? If kaya ba naming hanapan ng kliyente?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So palaging we're very careful. So it's really through careful thought that we ask someone to become part of our team. So we always look for yun nga, more than siguro being able to sustain them. Siguro we because what I notice as well, even if I'm not sure to hire them, or I'm not sure if there will be a client that will support, there will be insufficient project to pay for their salaries. Ang isip ko palagi, pasok ba siya sa culture? Competent ba siya? Capable ba siya? At the end of the day, will I lose sleep not hiring him or her?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because sayang yung talent eh.
Yeah.
So recently, we hired our most recent hire, Proby. Kaya niyang gumawa ng deepfakes.
Oh.
That's how the world
that's a talent.
sees it. But you could also use deepfake to do good. Like for example, you could create a persona of someone na hindi magaling mag-speak in front of the camera, pero magaling naman siya magsulat. Okay naman, presentable. So pwede mo siyang gawin ng deepfake, but to promote your organization or something. So her skill set was very unique. This was learned through, or this was developed through engagement with our client. Parang na-sign ko lang sa client, tapos ito yung gusto ng client. So, na-develop niya yung skill set niya. So, nasasayangan ako. So, sige, let's just hire. I think we can find something for her to do. So, and inisip ko, what if we don't hire her?
Okay.
Diba?
Oh.
Saan siya pupunta?
Oh.
Diba? So,
balancing the what if you do, what if you don't?
Yeah. So, you also have to, and that's a graduate of UC, promote ko lang eh. So, we have a lot of UC grads in our team. So, yun. Another hire that we had, ngayon naman regularization. So, dati, intern siya. So, tapos nakahanap ng trabaho. Tapos ayaw niya yung current na workload niya dahil parang hindi nagagamit yung skill set niya. Ito yung reason why I also think about what if mawala siya. So, mawala siya from our team. So, so we had to hire, we had a lot of projects during that time and we had to hire it. Ang bilis niyang nakabalik because there's already culture fit. Tapos our gusto siya ng team members namin. So, immediately, sige, recommended for regularization. So, get all the benefits that we currently give.
Yeah, these are actually very good insights. And actually, sabi ng mga iba ka na interview, and yung mga nakikinig ng podcast ng mga founders din, they actually want to know insights on hiring and on building the team. Kasi, issue nga ito. I've also heard from another startup that I interviewed na software development din, na actually edtech din, na they only hire if there's a new client.
Yeah.
Pero ang problema, sige, may client ka, so, may pera, no? Kaya ka makapag-hire. Pero, pag natapos na yung project, maka-force ka pa to, So, parang siya, tuloy-tuloy na siya na snowball somehow, So, pero, at the end of the day, if that hire is really a good talent na parang ayaw mong mawala, you grab, ayaw mong maging tot ka. So, you really grab that talent. And, kumbaga, maka-force ka nga to get another client. Pero, tama, nabuo naman yung team and lumakas pa yung team, right?
Yeah, that's also my role eh.
Yes.
That every time a team member comes, and I promise you I will take care of you. Diba? So regardless kung may project or wala, we have nasa akin na yun. So I think that's the reason why I still have a very solid team until today. And a highly capable team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ayun. Yeah. And so si IOL ay actually partner now ni Taraki, and andito tayo ngayon sa office ng Taraki, and I've interviewed some startups na sinusuportahan ni Taraki. So how exactly did Taraki support and help IOL?
So, we had a DOST project kasi we were asking, we're actually part of the first startup grant fund.
Okay, yeah.
So in 2021 ata. So 2021, 2022. Yeah, 2021, 2022. So we were part of the first SGF of the OSTP shirt. So we got some grant there. So they required us to be part of an incubator program.
Okay.
Especially those that they also funded. So parang yeah, we had a MOA with UC, back then it's an incubation program before they became a consortium.
So back then, like si UC Into or si UC Yans TBI?
UC Yans.
Ito kayo naging unang part.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So, pero sabi nila, parang medyo advanced na ata kayo. So more of parang capability building, capacity building, not necessarily the incubation program.
Yeah, kasi si Taraki din, it's a consortium ng TBI sa Cordillera.
Yes.
And I think, medyo spoil natin, no? I think they're planning to do a more advanced incubation or acceleration. So para sa mas medyo built na startups.
Yes. So, that I think is also important So as you build yung basic capabilities of our startups, it's also important to build the ecosystem. Because like for example, when we started, we had to go to Metro Manila. So ang swerte nga ng mga gustong magsimula ng startup ngayon because mas malapit na. We have the consortium then. We didn't have the TBI before. So kailan lang nagkaroon ng TBI dito sa Baguio. So ayun, so they're very lucky and they should really take that opportunity, no? And ganda rin na pakinggan na. Also, they're also looking for advancing na rin. Dahil nga meron nang na-develop sa basic, sa foundation. So, next stage na.
Yung grant niyo pala sa DOST, what was it about? Like yung project na yun?
So, we developed a cooperative data management system.
Oh.
So, it's a SaaS model. Yeah, we had for cooperatives.
Okay.
For cooperatives. And yeah, we integrated everything there. And it's one of the most difficult projects that we had. But it was funded by DOST to be sure. So we had to make sure that every peso was really spent on developing the system. The problem is that I think there was failure in the marketing side. Or the marketing research side because at that time we did have some resources. We did do our initial research na gusto talaga ng mga ganito. But we didn't test.
Okay, yung disability rin yung parang
we didn't test na kung totoo ba talagang gusto nila. So sasabihin nila okay, gusto. So I think we learned a lot sa marketing. We failed there in the
part nila, pero gagamitin mo talaga nila in their daily use.
Yes. Yeah. And I've heard, it's not necessarily it's for most government projects, digitalization projects. Parang, maganda ganun, pero will they be using? So, change management was very critical.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yun, hindi namin na-account yun, yung change management.
Lalo na, parang sama may resistance sa new things, innovation. I mean,
because everything is to be transparent. So, everything is to be accounted for in that system. And we didn't know na madami pala ganito issues din sa mga cooperatives. So,
I see.
Ayun. And there's, bilis ng change din ng employees. So we had a lot of challenge there. It was, I think I lost a lot of kilos there during that time.
Yeah, but I think hindi talaga yung pinakamahirap and the underrated minsan na part, I mean, the development part, of course, it's there. But yung yung parang, yung actual deployment, kumbaga.
Yes. The implementation part was
especially if this is a project na parang more of R&D kasi parang pwedeng na-research mo nga na maayos, pero yung kumbaga yung actual value for their everyday use, will they really use it? So, speaking of this pala, as a software development company, ano yung parang pinaka-challenging thing, maybe?
It was, I think, the most challenging thing in any software development project is converting or translating what the client really wants.
Okay.
They would say this one. They can AI the scope of work, and send it to us, and yan na, sundan yun na lang. But if you really engage with them, iba palang gusto. So we had one client
maybe
like
yun din
that.
minsan na may miscommunication kaya hindi nagiging yung problema sa deployment din, no?
Yeah. So parang you have to be you need at the early onset pa lang. Talagang you have to constantly communicate with the client kahit ayaw ng client na makipag-usap. Nasa iyo na yung scope of work ba't mo pa ako kakausapin? Ba't pa natin imi-meeting yan? Diba? But we insist. And we always get a go signal with the UI UX, our designs, our system designs na, ito, approved, okay na ba yan? Approved na ba yan? Ay, medyo gusto ko hindi ba pwedeng ganito, ganyan. So, madami pa pala. So, we had to change a lot. But once na at least agreed upon na yung designs, mahirap nang magpalit. Although we can still do that, but we always tell them, may price.
Okay.
But yeah, constant communication with the client is key, important.
Ayun, grabe, ang ganda ng mga insights sa usapan na to actually, at parang yun yung nagiging culture din and parang structure ni IOL as a software development company. First, yung AI on the process.
Yes.
Second, yung agile, no, with internal communication. And yung third, yung parang constant external communication with the client. So, yun yung nagiging structure. Kaya, kumbaga, medyo unique din talaga ang naging form ni IOL.
And you only develop this through experience.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have to fail. You have to fail forward.
That's the startup process. Fail forward. And parang learn on the go. Parang you do it and then you adjust and then you do it and then you adjust until mabuo yung parang form and structure nyo para mas scale nyo pa, mas marami pa kayong ma-serve kumbaga ng mga clients.
Right, yeah.
Ayun. Final question. So, where are you leading IOL? Meron ka bang parang roadmap or parang vision maybe?
Yeah, I remember during we had a gala night for our team. We recognize our team members, mga top performers, mga service awardees, nagstay ng 5 years. So out of the 7 who started parang initial team, we still have the 5 as part. And now we're a team of 14 people, or plus 1 for AI. But where are we going? I told them we have to build a company that will last our lifetimes, that will continue to generate value even if we're no longer here. Not only for our families, but also for the next generation. So that vision is clear for all of us. But as to how to get there, yun yung parang, we have short term, but as you know, parang ngayon, ang 1-year plan is a long-term plan na eh. So you cannot always commit to a plan, but we have an idea of where we want to go, di ba? So right now, our idea of our plan is to be a software company. In the maybe short term, medium term, we don't know. But we have to also be flexible.
Yeah.
We need to change as the market also change.
Pero I think that's important, like yung mga organizations na talaga nag-last, like yung mga kunwari mga brands that we know now na talaga nag-last. For example, sila Coke, sila Nestle, parang part din talaga ng vision nila to be a brand that will encompass or will be along generations. And then the day-to-day, the year-to-year is kumbaga yung mga tactical and strategic na parang kumbaga pag-lead din nung CEO nung executive committee or nung executive team. But ang ganda ng vision actually. Medyo philosophical pero parang when you think of it, sino ba talaga yung mga nag-stay sa mundong ito? Yung mga tao ba? Or ang lifetime ng tao is mas mahaba ang lifetime ng mga ibang brands in the ibang companies, ibang organizations eh. Like especially yung mga names sa Pilipinas like mga Ayala, ganyan, mga Gokongwei. I mean, these have been generations na rin di ba yung iba? So, but ayun na, maybe in the far future pa, year 3000. May IOL pa rin. Wow, that's amazing.
That's the plan. that's the vision. So in the short term, we just have parang targets set, So so most of our targets last year have already been hit except for siguro a project. But but most of the targets that we set last year. So parang So do we need to increase our targets ba? So mga ganun. But the parang underlying philosophy there is create solutions that will last our lifetime.
Ganda nun. Create solutions that will last our lifetime. And I think that's how we'll end this podcast conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If our listeners want to find more information about you, baka may client dyan, baka may gusto maging magpagawa ng software kay IOL. So maybe you can lead them to the website or social media channels. So how can they contact you?
Yeah, so you could go to our website www.iol.ph, and you could also search us on Facebook. Simply search for IOL Philippines or IOL Inc. And you'll see us there.
And I'll put those links below. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very interesting conversation. Yeah.
Thank you very much to our 50 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLex PH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. 1. CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Tuala, privacy-focused digital experience for sharing identity information across Web 2 and Web 3 ecosystems. Better Support, a Manila-based BPO company. They are offering a referral program for anyone who can bring in new BPO clients. If you know any Western-based business that might have a need, let us know. Britanna, a cloud-based enterprise-grade ERP solution that fits the small and medium business budget. Fail Coach, business training, coaching, and consulting for startups and SMEs that are scaling or finding product market fit. Wonder Brand, next generation data science-driven brand strategy and design company for emerging markets. School Tech, all-in-one AI-integrated school and learning management system for small and medium schools. Doon, Philippines' first fully insured peer-to-peer car sharing marketplace. East Point Business Outsourcing Services, the one-stop shop for streamlined business solutions for MSMEs such as business registration, bookkeeping, and more. And Space Cebu, global co-working space, private office, and meeting rooms for startups, digital nomads, and freelancers. Mamiki Super Pet App, the Philippines' first ever one-stop mobile app for pet products and services. MarketMind Local, a digital marketing company focused in helping small and medium businesses. Mata Technologies, Philippines' premier provider of virtual tours and maps for LGU's real estate, tourism, and private businesses. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Smile, consent-driven digital employment verification service to make smarter decisions faster. Divico Technologies, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. Drive Manila, PH's largest peer-to-peer car rental community. Ignite Careers, career matching platform for Filipino talents and hiring companies in the outsourcing industry. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. This episode is powered by Contact RFID Business Cards, Dohe Philippines, Edfolio, Hive Rooms, Kazam, Codesham, Jure.ph, Big Giant Games, Founders Launchpad, Packetworks, Uplift Codecamp, Pareto Consulting, Agile Data Solutions, Hassel PH, Board Prep, Zales, Sirius MD, Pahatid PH. Please support the podcast through the links in the description.